Hey everybody, welcome to Fab Daddy Garage TV. I am your host, Fab Daddy. This is going to be a little bit different. I'm actually going to do the intro to my next project after the project's done. I know that probably doesn't make sense, but if you've seen any of my other videos, you realize that I have problems with technology, and apparently I deleted the first few segments of this video. So here we go. So yeah, I'm going to introduce you to my next project anyway. It's something that was kind of a crazy idea. It turned out really well. I'll give you a sneak peek of what it is here in a minute. But anyway, I appreciate you watching. What I'm building is I'm actually building a smoker to smoke meat and stuff. What I'm building is I'm building a smoker. I'm building a smoker, like a vertical smoker, out of something that I got the idea off of YouTube and stuff. Actually building it out of a filing cabinet of all things. I will give you a quick peek at it here. See, there it is. That's the back side of it. I won't give anything away. So like I said, I misplaced first few sections of this video, so it's going to kind of cut in at a weird spot, but hopefully if you watch the whole video, it'll all make sense. So there's a lot of little short bits in this video because I didn't want you to have to watch me do the whole thing. So anyway, I hope you enjoy. Please click the like and subscribe, and if you liked what you see, please share it with others. See you guys. Enjoy. For the weekend, I'll be able to try it out and get some stuff smoked on it. So I hope you stick around, watch the video. Not sure how long it's going to be, but it should be entertaining. So thanks for watching.
Hey, it's already smoking.
Here we go. Here we go. We're getting it burned out, ready to go. Getting all the paint burned off the inside and the outside because, well, we don't want to contaminate any of the food we're cooking. But to quote Paris Hilton, that's hot. Hey, we're back, and as you can see, I'm wearing a different shirt. That's because, well, it's a different day. Earlier in the video, you saw me burning out the filing cabinet. I had it laid on its back, full of firewood, trying to get all the paint burned off from the inside and whatever came off the outside. While that was going, I think I showed drilling the holes in the bottom drawer. This isn't the bottom drawer. I drilled a bunch of holes here to coincide with the holes that I tried to drill in the bottom of the sides of the cabinet for airflow to get in. I tried drilling a 3-inch hole. I got one drilled in the top, and then when I tried drilling them in the side, I don't know how well I'd be able to see it, but I kind of focus. I don't know what happened to my hole saw, but it basically took the edge off of all the teeth. I think part of it is because my drill only works on high, and I probably melted them down. So, plus this was cheap. So I borrowed a nice high dollar one from a guy at work. And I got another drill, so I'm going to try to finish that. But anyway, while that was burning out still, I went ahead and I took the second drawer up, because the bottom drawer, like I explained, is going to be the firebox where the coals and the wood chips and all that stuff are going to go. This is the second one that's going to go right above it. As you can see, I drilled, I'm not going to count them, a bunch of holes in the bottom of it. And what that'll do is, as the heat's coming up from the bottom, this will help dissipate and even out the heat so that it's not like a hot spot or anything like that. It'll help the heat and the smoke come up evenly through. And I can put a pan of water in here to help steam keep stuff from drying out. Then on the top drawer and the second from the top drawer, I basically cut the bottom out of it and did both of those. As you can see, got one here on the table. And what I was going to do was, you can see here on the bottom, I was going to take some of this. I have some cold rolled 1/4-inch round stock that I was going to cut to the right length and weld in and basically make it was going to look like kind of like a shelf in your oven or in your grill. I was going to basically make a grill grate on the bottom. I was originally going to make a removable one to go here at the top, but then I was only going to have that much room. So big stuff like roasts and chickens or anything like that we're going to fix. So I decided just to go ahead and weld something in permanent here at the bottom. To do the math, I did the math, and to have as much of this to put as many slats along the bottom as I wanted to do with the cold rolled steel, I was going to need like 100 feet, and I don't have 100 feet, so I backed it off. That was to go like every 1/2 inch, which I know is pretty close. So I was like, what if we go 3/4 of an inch? It's still going to be like 70 some feet. So I thought, well, what about an inch? That's only, I mean, an inch is only that far. So that might be okay. It was going to take about, was it 54 feet? Because this is a foot across. So each section was going to have to be a foot long. I was worried about the weight, so I did the math. It was only going to be, I don't even remember how much it was going to weigh. It wasn't going to weigh that much, like 18 pounds maybe. Problem is, if I did that, it was going to take all of the cold rolled steel that I have access to. So I was trying to come up with another plan, and what I came up with is I found some expanded metal. If you don't know what that is, it's this stuff. It's kind of got a diamond pattern. It has like a weird, kind of a rough texture on it. This stuff's great. Great. No pun intended. This stuff's a little bit thicker. The stuff that I'm going to use is this thinner stuff, which, as you can see, it's flexible this way, but this way, like this way, the short way, there's hardly any flex in it at all. So, and it's already cut to where it'll almost fit in there. I just have to trim. I'm going to trim, if you can see it. It's kind of split at this end. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go down this edge with the cutoff wheel, cut that little bit off of each one so it'll fit in there nicely, and then I'll cut it to length. This piece is like that much too short to handle both drawers, so that's why I got this extra piece here. Now if you notice, this stuff's kind of rusty, kind of nothing. This stuff is rusty, so obviously I don't want to cook on that. So my options are I could spend a couple hours or longer with a wire wheel cleaning all this stuff off. But I think what I'm going to do is there's some stuff I've been wanting to try. It's WD-40 rust remover, and it's basically some stuff that you soak rusty metal in, and it basically eats all the rust off of it. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get that till later tonight, and I want to get the cabinet burning again just to do a double burn just to make sure everything's cleaned out of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut this to the right size to fit the 2 drawers. I'm going to clean out the cabinet because it's still sitting over there with all the ash and leftover coals from last night's fire, or the night before last, whatever. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the bottom drawer in, light a fire in it, let it get going, fill the second drawer with wood, put it in, and et cetera, and just basically have a tower, fire tower. But first, I'm going to try to drill those holes in the bottom of it to help with the airflow. So stick around, and hope you're enjoying the craziness. And we're back. It's the next day. The last part of the video, you saw me do the second burn on the cabinet over there, and that was to just make sure that everything's burned out of the inside of it. Make sure all the paint, powder coating, whatever, excuse me, whatever is burned out of it. I also did the burn this time with the drawers in it. As you can see, they're all burned out and cleaned up, ready for Scotch-Brite and cleaning. Funny thing about the drawers, if you can see, let's see if I can grab one here. Had metal handles. I knew they were metal. I thought they'd withstand some heat, but apparently they're not a thin, kind of like a lead or pewter, and they melted. As you can see, I don't know how well you can see it right there. It melted. So I thought they were plastic and just burned off until I saw the little drops of metal on the fire ring there. So I'm gonna have to find some new handles, but that's not that big a deal. So those are all burned out, ready to clean up, get some Scotch-Brite on them. The next step for the cabinet is I'm going to take some of this Dawn Power Wash. Not affiliated with them. I don't make any money. This is just a good cleaner. I'm going to spray this all over. I'm going to hose it out first, get all the loose ash and everything out. Then I'm going to blow it out, Scotch-Brite it, blow it out again, spray this stuff inside, let it sit for a little while, hit it with a scrub brush, and scrub out as much stuff as I can, inside and out. And then I'm probably going to paint the outside with some high temperature paint. I was going to go to John Deere and get some of their Muffler Black paint. If you're looking for some high temperature paint that holds its color, I would go with the John Deere Muffler Black, because my experience with a lot of like barbecue grill paint and high temperature paint is, especially the flat black, it turns kind of a gray color. The Muffler Black will stay black, in my experience. But unfortunately, it's like $25, $30 per spray can. So I scrounged and found some engine paint that I already had. I'm going to use that. See what else. So that's the plan for that. My plans for the grates, let's take it over here. You saw I put the expanded metal that I found, and I put in the bottoms of the drawers. I got them all here hanging on my kid's swing set because they don't use it anymore. So what my plan for these is going to Go ahead and spray them down with some Dawn hose. Scrub them up with a scrub brush a little bit, and then let them dry. And after they're dry, I'm going to put them in. I got some of this stuff. I talked about the WD-40 stuff. I ended up finding this Evaporust at Tractor Supply. A buddy of mine gave me a small bottle of this a while back. I've never used it. He says it's good stuff. I'm going to try it. So what you do is you put a clean metal, well, not clean metal, take all the loose rust scale and dirt and all that stuff, clean all the grease and everything off, and you soak it in you pour some of this in a plastic tote or something to soak the parts in, and it actually cleans the rust off. It says it could take anywhere from a half hour to 24 hours to get the rust, depending on how bad it is. Luckily, these aren't too bad, so I don't think it'll take too long. Only problem is, this piece is 2 feet long, and I don't have any totes that big, but what I found was, if you can see it, I found my kid's old plastic sled. Hasn't been used in years, so I'm going to clean that out, and that's what I'm going to use to soak this big piece in. So while that's going on, I'm going to clean up the drawers, and then after I have the cabinet cleaned out, I'm going to blow it out, and I'm going to take, oh, hold on. I forgot to bring this over with me. So to season the cabinet, you're supposed to spray down the inside of the cabinet and any other parts with high temp or high flash point oil. You want something that can take high heat. You don't want to use like vegetable oil or anything like that. So they suggest using, oh, hey, there it is. They suggest using some canola oil. I got a couple bottles of canola oil to spray down the inside of it. I'm going to use one of these little pump up sprayers. You spray down the whole inside. You spray any part of it that's inside the cabinet. So I'll spray down the drawers and everything. After I get these welded in, oh, something about these is that cabinet got really hot last night. I have no idea during the second burn. I have no idea how hot it was, but it was so hot I couldn't get within about 10 feet of it. So I kind of overheated it a little bit, but that just makes me feel better because I know everything's burned out. These kind of warped a little bit. They kind of dished. So I'm going to take some of. I keep putting stuff down. I shouldn't put stuff down. I'm going to take a few pieces of this cold rolled steel that I have, and I'm going to put like 3 or 4 pieces across just to help support this, give it a little strength. I mean, this is going to be welded in, so it should be okay, but just to kind of give it a little support, I'm going to put this in. Now, a note on that: if you're going to build your own smoker, there's some things you need to know. Excuse me, about the metal you're using, or you should and shouldn't use. I'm going to go back over here where the light's a little better. So if you're going to do something like this, build your own, you want to make sure to get cold rolled steel. I'll tell you why. Because if you get hot rolled steel, it has something called, the name just left my brain. If you use hot rolled steel, it has hot rolled steel. What is it called? Not slag. Mill scale. If you use I'll tell you, you should, if you're going to use your own metal to build your own smoker, you should use something called, or you should use cold roll. So if you're going to use, if you're going to build your own smoker and use some steel, you want to try to find cold rolled or cold formed steel. Because if you get hot rolled steel, it has something called mill scale on it, and you'll need to remove that, because if you cook on that kind of if you cook on it, it can make you sick. It can make you. I'm back. Sorry about that, but the neighbors were out making a bunch of racket over next door, but I don't blame them for that because it's a beautiful day outside. Anyway, if you're gonna make your own smoker and buy your own steel, you need to try to find as much cold rolled or cold formed steel as possible, because if you get hot rolled steel or hot formed, it'll have something on it called mill scale. And what that is just it's part of the process. After the process is done, it's all the impurities and stuff that coat the outside of the steel, and you have to get all of that off before you can use it to cook on. because it can make you very, very sick. So if you can find cold rolled, go ahead and get that. If you can't, all you have to do is run it through a belt sander or something just to make sure you get all of that mill scale off. If it were me, I would avoid galvanized at all costs because that stuff can actually be toxic. There's a way to tell, usually cold rolled stuff, because on the hot rolled stuff, the mill scale kind of protects the metal and prevents rusting. The cold roll doesn't have that, so they usually coat it in a light oil. So if you grab some metal and it feels oily, more than likely it's cold rolled. To test it, if you put a grinder to it or a sander, cold rolled should like have sparks immediately. If there's like a coating on it that smears, it's either hot rolled and has the mill scale, or it's galvanized. So just keep that in mind when you're building. So as you see, I've got a lot of work to do. I'm not going to make you watch all of it. I may check in from time to time just to show you the progress, but stick around and I'll be back. Okay, so here we go. We've got the stuff all cleaned up. The expanded metal all cleaned up. So we're going to go ahead, got it in the sled here. So we're going to go pour the rust, evapor rust on it, see what happens. Hopefully there's enough to, there's enough here that I can get all of it submerged. If not, a little bit extra. That's pretty close. I got most of it. I'm going to put this little bottle in. Not sure how much is in here. Okay, so there we go. Most of it's under. What I'm going to do is I've got some jack stands here. Put them on top. See if we can get it all underneath. It says, the bottle says to wear protective gloves, so I've got some nitrile gloves on. All right, there we go. Most of it's underneath. You can see it boiling, or not boiling, bubbling, so apparently that means it's working. So we're going to let this sit for a while. We'll come back and check it, see how it is. So stay tuned. All right, so here we are. We're back. It's been several hours. I wasn't really keeping very good track of how long it was in here, but it was a while. And so we're going to pull this out. Hey, that looks pretty good. I don't know how well it's coming through on the camera. It looks like all the rust is off. All that's left is the, looks like we took it back to the base layer of steel. On this one anyway. So we'll take this over here. All right, let's see how these other ones did. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I mean, it's not, I think once I rinse them off and maybe brush them down a little bit, they'll be great. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to hang them up and then we're going to hose them down and see what happens. So stick around. Okay, so here they are. It looks like they need to go a little bit longer. These gray areas here on the end are the clean areas, and the stuff over here is still a little dirty or rusty. See, this side looks good for most part. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the tub of stuff into the shop and put it back in there for the weekend because we're getting ready to leave town for the next couple days. I have the drawers painted. I have the cabinet painted, but I kind of screwed up. I got ahead of myself. I don't know if you can tell, but I sprayed the inside of the cabinet with the canola oil, getting ready to season it. I use my little spray here, which, not impressed. I kind of hoped that it would come out in a spray pattern, but I screwed up because I still have to put the heat vents on and the exhaust vent. So now I'm going to have to do all that with oily metal. So anyway, stay tuned. We'll get back and we'll hopefully finish the project up here in the next section. All right, so here we are. We're back. This stuff's been sitting in here since, let's see, when did I take this? I put this in here Saturday afternoon, and it is now Tuesday afternoon, evening. I had it weighed down this big chunk of metal and my sledgehammer here. So we'll go ahead and pull this out. See how it looks. Now this piece looked pretty good before. I just went ahead and threw it back in, just to kind of clean it up the rest of the way. These were still kind of rusty. And honestly, it looks like the rust is just scraping right off. So, yeah, that looks really good. We have to do a little bit more work, but we'll find out once we, after we wash them off. I'm supposed to hose them down and scrub them a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. But I think they look really good, at least good enough. So stick around. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, so the expanded metal that I got for the bottoms of the two top drawers turned out really good, really well. All the rust came off. I went ahead just as an extra precaution, just kind of ran the wire wheel on my grinder, Flesh Remover 5000. Went ahead and ran that over both sides of them just to kind of get any extra scale or anything off that's still there. So now I'm ready to weld them into the bottom of the drawer here. I got one of the drawers here upside down. But if you remember correctly, I showed you earlier that, sorry, excuse me. I showed you that after the burnout, the second burn that I did on the inside of the cabinet when I had the drawers and everything in, they kind of bowed and kind of sunk in on themselves. Can't really think of the word I'm trying to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this 1/4 inch cold rolled steel that I've talked about. I'm going to cut a couple pieces and I'm going to just weld them in the bottom of the drawers to kind of give a little bit extra support because I don't have any thicker expanded metal to put in. So to cut these down, I could use a cutoff wheel on the grinder. I could use hacksaw or anything like that. What I'm going to use is my handy dandy Tough-Bilt F180 folding wire cutters or bolt cutters. These things are actually pretty sweet. They fold out and fit in a regular toolbox. I don't know if you can see it. Unfortunately, I chipped the end of it. I don't know if you can see the big chip out of it. So can't get up close, but excuse me. So here we go. Let's see if I can tighten in on what I'm doing here. That's wide, tight. I guess that's all the tighter it goes. So I got it marked right here where I want to cut it. See? Easy peasy. I'm going to weld two pieces in, just to kind of give it a little extra support. So we cut this extra piece off. That hurt. Okay. Normally that wouldn't be that hard, but I hurt myself over the weekend. It was Labor Day weekend, and we went up and visited some family, and I hurt my shoulder on the back of my shoulder back here. And so the last couple of days, if I look like I'm walking around weird, because the last couple of days I've been walking with my head down because it hurt to straighten up my head. So I'd either be walking around with my head down like this, or I'd have my gut sticking out so I could see straight in front of me. But you want to know how I hurt my shoulder? I did it while I was sleeping. I have reached the age where sleeping wrong causes pain for the next 2 or 3 days. So anyway, so I got those cut. I've got a couple of spots here. Not how well you can see it. Probably not very well. But I went ahead and ground off what little bit of paint there was left on the bottoms of the drawers here, just to kind of get some good metal. And since this was pre-oiled, it's clean. I don't have to worry about cleaning it. So we're going to weld those on there. So we grab some vice grips just to clamp it on. Where's the good? There we go. So we'll get it centered up, and then those are horrible vice grips. I wonder where these came from. I don't buy garbage. That's not true. I buy a lot of garbage. So I'm not even going to worry about squaring it up or anything like that. I'm just going to clamp it in place. Kind of do a quick square, make sure it's kind of squarish. I'll put my work clamp or my ground clamp on this other clean part. Oh, I got something new I wanted to show you. So we'll back out here a little bit. Since I'm going to be welding, last time I was at Tractor Supply, I got me a nice Star Spangled new welding hat because my old one disappeared, and honestly I don't mind it disappeared because it was gross. I couldn't even tell you what the original color of it was. It was so nasty and gross. And these are great because you can tuck them down, I do anyway, over my ears, kind of help protect the top of the ears. And it's got this flap in the back that you can either flip up or down to protect the back of your neck from stuff rolling down your neck. So let's see if I can find a welding hood that works. This one should work because I just put new batteries in it. And it's testing like it's working. All right, so the welder may be a little loud, but we're going to carry on. Sorry. Apparently I wrapped the work lead here around the leg of the tripod. So let's see what we can do here. Yep. So I burned through a little bit because this is such thin metal. So that's not good, but we'll fix it and make it look somewhat squarish. Give it a little tack here and there. That's a good tack. Try not to weld the pliers to the part. There's one weld tacked in. Head down, move this over here. Probably can't see anything except for my back. Yeah, there we go. All right, so we'll get the other one here. It's hard to do with the camera behind me. I wonder if this is how chefs feel when they're on cooking shows. Come on. Had like instantly burned through. We're going to turn this all the way down. If I knew how to TIG weld and had a TIG welder, that'd probably be the thing to do. That's not too bad. All right, so now shut the welder off. That's just tack welded, and I'm gonna let that cool down. While that's cooling, I'm gonna go ahead and take my panel here. That's not the one I want. I want this one. This is a full-size one. We'll see if we can. Yeah, I wonder. I moved you guys down here. Get that out of the way. What happened? Oh, there we go. There, maybe now you can see a little bit better. Yeah, it's not too bad. All right, so that's gonna be hard to do. Let's get, ow. I don't know where my welding hammer is. We'll use this somewhere. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the wood handle to push the expanded steel down onto the drawer. But before I can do that, I gotta get ground clamp hooked up. How am I gonna do that? Where can I do that? It's not gonna hurt anything. That won't work. It's gonna be good enough or not. We'll find out. All right. So all I'm gonna do is just put a bunch of tacks around the outside. All right, so give you a quick view of what I'm doing here. I'm not gonna make you watch all of this, but anyway. So as you can see, I'm just putting little tack welds. I get this to focus. Little tack welds all the way around. So basically, I'm just going to do that all the way around the rest of the floor, and you don't need to, you probably don't want to watch me do that. So as soon as I'm done with the drawers, I'll check back in and go with the next step. And we're back. As you can see, it's a new day, new t-shirt. Because I'm probably gonna have to trim my beard so you guys can see my t-shirts better. So yesterday, as always, I got working along, and I got down to the end of the day and realized that I had not really recorded too much. So I'm going to give you a quick overview of what I did yesterday and a quick glimpse into what I'm going to try to get done today. So the main thing I got done yesterday was, as you can see, I got the floors welded and the bottom is welded into the two drawers. And then the next thing I did was I put the smokestack on the cabinet. I'm not going to show you the welds real close because they're hideous, but I forgot that I was going to have to do this and paint it over it. So what the smokestack is basically a piece of exhaust pipe that I took off of Bruce when I put the new muffler on. And then I added the stud up here. What that's going to be is going to be a plate right here that'll go over that stud that I could tighten up. And then that will slide back and forth, and that will, I don't know why this isn't focusing. And then that will, I can regulate the heat coming out. And then I'm going to do something similar down here with the 4 holes at the bottom that I drilled. And for those, I took some of these extra pieces out of the bottom of the cabinet, out of the drawers of the cabinets. I cut some holes in them, and I saved the holes. So I have 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I don't know where the 4th big one is. I have 4 of them that are a little over 4 inches that will cover the 3-inch hole, no problem. That's going to bug me till I find it. This one is actually a little over 3 inches. And as you can see, I have it marked. That's for the stud to go on top of the stack on top. And then I'm going to clean the edges up on these. And then I'm going to take, where did the other one go? I have a 3-inch one here somewhere that I cut out earlier. Where did I put it? Anyway, I'm going to take one of the 3-inch ones that I have, mark it on here so I can drill a hole here. And I'll drill a corresponding hole next to these holes. And then I'll put a bolt in from the outside, tack weld it, and that will hold these in place. And then that way I can manage the heat down low. Sounds like the neighbor girls are out. But to get this rough, sharp edge off of the parts, to get them to look more like this one, which see how it's kind of nice, needs a little bit of fine tuning. I don't have a bandsaw, so I put my portable band sander, belt sander. Hey, that's it, belt sander, in my vise. I have it hooked up, and all I have to do is the trigger locks on, and I can use that to take those rough edges off. I did get some new stuff. One more thing I have to do is I have 3 of these thermometers. I don't know if it'll focus or not. Camera's not cooperating. There we go. I'm going to put 1 in each range of the smoker. 1 here at the top, 1 here, and 1 here. I'm not going to bother putting 1 down there at the bottom because I don't really need to know how hot that is. But I have those, and then I got this really nice, cool smoker box. I'll show you what that is. It's a nice stainless steel box with holes all around it. And what you do is you open it up, and you can put like wood chips or pellets in here, I'm probably going to use pellets. I've used them before. I've had really good luck with them. I'm going to stick with that. What you do is you get the fire going in the bottom drawer. As soon as it's going, you fill this with your pellets or your wood chips or whatever you're using, and you just toss this right in on top of the fire. It gets hot, but it won't burn, and it'll smoke. And it'll put out all kinds of smoke. I've used these before. I've not used this exact one, so it'll take a little bit of practice to get to use it. Now, speaking of fire, to protect that bottom drawer, I got this. It's kind of hard to tell what it is because I haven't put it together yet. I thought I would maybe put it together on video. And what it is a charcoal basket for an offset smoker. So basically, if you have like a Smokey Joe smoker that's got like the big round barrel body with a little thing on the side that you put your fire in, you can use this, put it together, and this sits down in that firebox so you're not burning out your firebox. And this is actually really nice stainless steel. And it basically, once it's done, it'll look like a little stainless steel milk crate, and it fits perfectly inside the drawer. So I only got one. Two of them would actually fit side by side, so I may end up getting a second one. That way I can spread the heat out a little bit. But I'm hopefully going to get that put together today. I'll try to remember to video that while I'm doing it. But I'm going to get set up and start working on. I think I'm going to bring the cabinet over here a little bit closer, so I need to re-weld that stud in the top of the exhaust pipe, because while I was messing around trying to mark the spot for on the lid where that stud was going to go, I broke the stud loose because it apparently wasn't welded in very well. So let me get set up and we'll get going. Okay, so once again, had some technical difficulties. The battery on the camera died, so I just worked away. You can see I've got the stud mounted or welded back in better. Got the flap drilled out, put on, so now it can swing both ways. I may put some sort of handle on it so it'll be easier to open and close. I got the 4 discs cleaned up, holes drilled in them to mount to the cabinet, and I'm going to move around here so I have the bolts through the cabinet. Shut the plug off. I have the bolts in through the cabinet here. Measure them out from where I wanted. And ground off the inside of the cabinet because I want to tack weld these in so that the bolt doesn't move. I could just, like I said earlier, maybe put a wing nut on it so I can loosen it, open the vent, and close it. I thought about also closing in these little holes in the middle, but I didn't think it'd be that big of a deal if I left them open. If it ends up being a problem, I can always take them off and maybe weld them shut or something. So I'm going to set you up on the camera or on the tripod. This could be entertaining to watch because the inside of the cabinet, as I showed you earlier, is already coated in canola oil, as I kind of forgot about doing this part. So it may go up in flames. I hope it doesn't because my head's going to be in it, but stay tuned. We'll see what happens. Set up here. I don't know what kind of view you're going to get. Well, I can see down in there if I'm right here a little bit. We'll see. So hang tight. There may be like a big flash and you hear me screaming. I hope not, but we'll see. Put on this test button. Okay. Probably about the only thing you're going to hear is the welder, so wish me luck. That actually looks pretty good. It didn't blow up in my face. I have this touch of paint here on the side. Yeah. That's really going through. It's already big, but you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, let's see what that does. See what this does. I should have blown on for you. Really good. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, but that's okay. Well, hang on, gonna get a little crazy right here. All right, so I'm gonna let that cool before I try taking the nuts off the bolts because I don't want to burn my fingers. So stick around. Hopefully, I'll have a finished product here for you in just a few minutes. Okay, I think we're doing well. We've got the vent covers put on here. Got all four of them on. I'm gonna have to put wing nuts on it. I think I may put a small bolt through that hole in the center so that I have a handle to use. It may kind of restrict how well I can open it, but we'll see. As you see, I got everything painted. I got the smokestack painted. I'm waiting on the cover there the paint on that to dry. So, oh yeah, and also have some quick handles put on the drawers. Get some bolts stuck through. So yeah, we're about ready to start a fire in this thing. But while I'm waiting on that paint to dry, I'm going to go ahead and put this stainless steel firebox together. So I'm going to set you up on the tripod here and get you somewhat centered. And you can watch me do that because that'll be fun. Okay, I got a tech tip for you after I take a drink of water. If you have something like this that has multiple screws or bolts that hold it together, it may be tempting to put the first screw in, first bolt in, tighten it up. Go on to the next one, tighten it up. You should always wait until you have everything assembled because if you tighten it up, you may not be able to move and wiggle stuff around to get it to fit. Because you may have holes that don't line up. If you tighten it up, it's going to be harder to get it to fit. I learned that the hard way. My dad told me that one time. And I was like, what's the old man know? I went ahead and tightened up the first side it was putting the hood on our tractor. I put the hood on, tightened up the 2 bolts on one side, couldn't get the other side to line up. I went back over, loosened the other ones, and what do you know? They went right in. So a quick tech tip for you there. Well, it's not gonna work. Oh, what size is that? It is an 8mm. So anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up, and when I come back, should be ready to start a fire. Okay, here we are. We have the damper put on the top. Got all 4 of the things down at the bottom. I got them open up about halfway. Check this out. Look at that. That fits in there pretty much perfectly. The bolts add a little bit of width to it. It still slides right in there. So that's ready to go. The only thing I have left to do is, if I can get the camera to cooperate, there we go. The only thing I have left to do is to put the temp gauges in. I have the sides marked out here where I want them. So I'm going to go along here. I'll probably put it on a time lapse just to see how fun it is. So enjoy the show. Oh. Okay, so problem is there's a brace that runs right down the middle of this. I didn't think it would be there. So no biggie. We'll just move everything over an inch or so. Probably can't see anything, can you? All right, there we are. They're in. So there we go. We got temp gauge for top, middle, and bottom. If you're wondering why I put them there instead of in the door, it's because this will give me a more accurate reading of where the whole drawer is, whereas opposed if it's on the front, with the draft that may be coming up the front and stuff, that could give me a bad reading. And I put them there so that it will miss. Not sure if you'll be able to see it. See, the probe is right above the door or the drawer edge. So that way it's not hitting this hardware. So stick around, because I think the next step is going to be lighting it on fire, or at least lighting a fire inside it. Stick around. Well, guys, here it is, all done. I don't know how well you can see. If I come over here, you see the smoke coming out. So it's all done, and I'm going to give you a quick show around. So I've burned it out a couple times already, like I said. I've grilled a couple things in it, smoked a couple things in it. You gotta check out these handles. They're all old wrenches that I found in an old box, or an old bucket, that I didn't need anymore. They were all rusty and beat up. So yeah, there you can see smoke. You can see it smoking pretty well. What's our temperature doing? Temperature's looking good. So down here in this bottom drawer, I'm trying to hurry because my battery's about dead. Bottom drawer, got our firebox with our fire going. This drawer has a pan of water. I'm not going to open it because I'll spill all the water. And this one is our chicken wings, or chicken legs and thighs. And they're looking and smelling good. I wish you guys could smell this. I wish there was smell-o-vision. Anyway, that's it for the build. I have a contest here next week that I'm hopefully going to go to. Going to make some smoked chili. So thanks for watching. I'll give an update on the contest as soon as I can. Bye, guys. All right, guys. So here it is. Sorry, it's a little dark. See if I come out here. I have the tent set up here over the smoker because it was actually raining earlier today, which I'm not going to complain about because we really need the rain. But smoker's going. I don't know how well you can see the smoke. I don't know if you can see it. I've used it. This is about the third time I've cooked on it. First time I cooked some smoked chili that I'm going to take to a contest next weekend. Well, I'm not sure when you'll see this, but next weekend from now is when I'll be taking it to a contest up at Pumpkin Palooza up in Kentland at the fairgrounds. Excuse me. Second time, I just smoked some hamburger for something that we made inside. So here we go. Oh, there you can kind of see some smoke. See, coming out up on top. But I've actually been struggling with it a little bit because I'm using like actual wood today. As you can see, it likes to, I don't know how well you can see it. It flames up when I open the drawer. It starts burning real well. But I'm having trouble controlling the burn and the coals and stuff. So this isn't going to really work real well using sticks, as other people like to call it. I think it's going to work really well with charcoal. I had some pretty good luck with the lump charcoal I used for the chili and stuff. So that's what I'm going to go back to. I'm just doing this for tonight to smoke. I'll show you what I'm smoking. Close that back up. And of course I got my water pan in there to help with some moisture. And I don't know how well you can see it. We got like a 10.5 pound pork butt in there. That's really coming along. It's been smoking for about, well, let me see, for almost about 3 hours, looks like on my timer here. Stopwatch. Yeah, not quite 3 hours. It's coming along. Went straight from the fridge to here. So it went from whatever a refrigerator is, just above, what was that, mid-30s probably. And I just checked a little bit ago. And after 3 hours, it's up to, let me go back over here so you can see me a little bit better. It's already up over 100 degrees. It's probably going to hit the stall at about 160, which what that means is it'll get to about 160 degrees is when all the water inside the meat starts to try to evaporate and the meat won't get any hotter because it's hard to explain because all that water's coming out. Anyway, usually what you would do is when it hits the stall, you wrap it in paper to help hold that moisture in and then bump up the heat a little bit and it'll start recooking again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat a little bit. Once it hits the stall, I'm going to pull it out and put it in the crock pot inside to finish cooking overnight on low because I don't want to camp out here all night and load wood in it because it takes a lot of it and have to it takes a lot of wood. I have to fill it. I have to put new wood in about every half hour or so. So as you can see, there's plenty of smoke. It smells wonderful. I wish there was smell-o-vision, and you guys could smell how good it's doing. So anyway, just wanted to give you a quick wrap-up video. I may tack, if I don't post this before the contest next weekend, I may tack a little bit of that here on the end. So thanks for watching. We'll see you later. If the camera will turn off. See ya. Well, here we are. Got the smoker back in the shop here today. I just want to kind of do a wrap-up segment on it just to show you the finished product. I put finishing quotes because projects aren't ever really finished. We just get sick of working on them and move on. So, but I want to go over the last couple things with you. If you guys could smell this thing, it smells wonderful. I've used it 4 times now. I've done did some smoked chili in it the first time. Then I did just some hamburger for some hamburger helper type stuff. Then I did some chicken, which I forgot about in an earlier segment. And then I did the pork butt, which turned out chef's kiss, amazing. But here, I'll show you. You might have seen it a little bit on the last section. I got some handles put on. As you can see, I just found some old wrenches that have been sitting around. Were kind of rusty, didn't actually ever use them. So I just welded some longish bolts on the back of them, ran them through, and put the nuts and lock washers on the inside. I left them out to kind of help control the heat, which it actually kind of helps. I can usually open these two without gloves. The bottom two, obviously, with the fire being that much closer to the fire, a little bit hotter. But yeah, I can usually open these top ones without gloves, but I did leave a big area in there, so if I do have on like a heavy glove, like the welding gloves or something, there's still room for my hand. The other thing that I just got done doing is, as you can see, I've got this is the bottom drawer where the basket goes to hold the charcoal and stuff. When I was using it, I noticed that the part here in the middle had some really good glowing orange coals and embers and stuff, but the outsides here were kind of dark and cold, and that's because this basket sat flat down against the bottom there, and the only place it was getting air was underneath. So to fix that, what I did was took some little chunks of angle iron, welded them in there so that way the basket doesn't sit flat down on the bottom. So that way they'll get a little bit more air in here around the sides and underneath to give a more consistent heat, because I got to be honest with you, controlling the heat on it has not been the easiest. So that's basically it. I was actually supposed to be, today is September 28th, 2025. I was actually supposed to be at a cook-off today, a cook-off barbecue challenge up in my hometown, but unfortunately we weren't able to make it. So hopefully next year we'll be able to get up there and do it. But anyway, I just want to give you guys a wrap-up video on what on the smoker here. I should be getting back to work on Buford. You're still sitting there, but I'm not. I should be. But I actually have another couple little side projects that kind of go together and actually kind of link up to the smoker. What they are is I got a new, what is up with the light? I keep losing my face, which I guess really isn't a bad thing. Anyway, I got a log splitter. That's really nice, but I broke it already. So I got to fix that. And then I have to build a tool to store, I got to build a tool to build something to store the split firewood easier, if that makes any sense. If it doesn't make any sense, stay tuned and I'll try to make it make sense. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more craziness that I bring to you. And also if you could hit that share button, that would be awesome as well. I appreciate you guys watching. See you next time.